Delta Kilo Charlie, and we are in Southwest Michigan.
Roger, Roger. And are you you're in 8 land for sure?
Roger, Roger. And are you're in 8 land for sure? Roger, Roger. Definitely in 8 land, and the name is George.
Roger, Roger, George. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, George. And what radio are you running today, sir? Currently, we're running a 7300. Is a lot of your folks calling in. A lot of the shows and played around with it, but we're generally not using the 7300 for our audio processing, so that's why I'm a little concerned about it. Yeah, I get some good remarks, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily good. But I am running a preprocessor, UR6 QW 8-band preprocessor. The only thing I'm using on the 7300 is a mic gain, currently set at 60%. The compression is done in a preprocessor, and all other settings are there as well.
Roger, George. Well, for my taste, the compressor's a little too active. I'm getting a lot of suck-up. You know, a 3 will give you the same thing as a 6 without the suck-up. So, you know what I mean by suck-up. It's if you pause for just a nanosecond, you know, you hear the neighbor beating his wife in the back room there, it sucks up, you know. So a 3 will do the same thing without that suck-up. So, you know, if you might be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with, well, actually, I'm revising that just a little bit. It starts with you checking your bandpass. We want to start with the radio in a 100 to 2900 configuration on your bandpass. Roger? 100 configuration on your bandpass. Roger? I did turn the compressor down to 2.21, and I also turned the gate up, which kind of controls some of the background noise bleeding in, and maybe that'll be a little different now. Roger. Actually, you know, the game plan for that compressor is we just want to use about 1/3 of its capabilities. So if it has a rotary input, you know, like a volume controlled input to the compressor, we want that thing to be at maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, you know, just tapping into just 1/3 of its capabilities. Roger? Just tapping into just 1/3 of its capabilities. Roger? Roger, Roger. It is a rotary. It goes from 1-1 to 6-1, and the 9 o'clock position would be 2-1. 10 o'clock would be between 2 and 3-1. I just turned it up there. We also might make a difference. I'm running a high-O instead with the electric mic for the Roger, Roger, George. Well, Milford has decided that I no longer need to be on their SDR net, so I'm going to have to bring them back up again. It only takes a flash, and then we'll be back. That's what I was monitoring you with the Milford SDR. And so I got them back up again. All right, so what we want to do now is I want you to go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, or you can go 100, 100, 100, however you do it, I want your cadence to be fairly up tempo, because that's the only way you can accurately get that ALC meter to reflect what's happening. If you go 1, 2, 3, the meter never gets a chance to actually reflect its reading. So as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 100, 100, and with mic gain in hand, adjust the ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger? Adjust the ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger. Okay, we'll be on 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, and right about there is mid-scale to 3/4 on the ALC reading of the radio. Roger, Roger. Mid-scale to 2/3 is what we're looking for. And so now, if you would, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and let me listen to you as you tell me about your antenna system. Tell me about your antenna system. Roger, Roger. Okay, we're running a mediocre antenna system here. We live in a restricted area somewhat. We have a 63-foot NSET antenna
running horizontally at about 13 feet in the air. But it seems to be doing a pretty good job for us around the U.S. and Europe, so we're kind of happy with that. We are hoping to plan to put a 135-foot end wire up maybe in the spring there.
Roger, Roger, George. Sounds pretty good. I would leave it like that. I want you to leave your ALC display out for maybe the next week or so, that you can look at your ALC as you speak, and you will learn to be able to control the ALC with your voice. Roger, Roger?
With your voice. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger. Yeah, I heard you talk about that before. Unfortunately, I didn't concentrate on doing that. And, I am watching my meters a little bit. It does show I'm peaking out a little bit less, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm sounding good either. So we'll go with that, and we'll play with it a little bit, and see if we can't use the proper way of talking and using that ALC to guide our speech.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, and about, 3 to 4 inches off mic is where you want to be also. So, again, by looking at your ALC, as you're talking to somebody, you don't have anything else to do visually that much, and it's quite an education. And over a period of time, you'll be able to command the meter just by your voice level. You'll know what's going on, Roger.
You'll know what's going on, Roger. Roger. Well, I appreciate that. I know I watch the meters usually quite a bit, but it's mostly around, not necessarily the ALC, so I'll just put it on the one, so it's the only one showing, and we'll start working on that part of it there.
Roger. Now, I don't have a really good enough signal to be able to look at my spectrum analyzer and say what's going on, but just by the ear, you are in my noise level, so it sounds like your EQ pattern is fairly good. I wouldn't want to be able to to work on that with as the signal the way it is. Maybe next week we might be able to get some better propagation and maybe be able to work on that EQ just a little bit more. But right now it sounds great. And if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it will be cut 1 of 1900. It will be cut 1 of 1900, regardless of what YouTube says the name is. When you get there, you'll see that it is the correct week recording for 11/26/21. And give us. We'll probably get this posted up there by noon tomorrow, Roger.
By noon tomorrow, Roger. Roger. All righty. Well, thank you very much for the help. I know I tried to get it to you other times, and you're usually pretty busy, and I know you got others waiting out there. So we'll step on the side and listen out some more. And I want to thank you. You have some very educational episodes, and I'm really getting a lot out of that. So, 73 to you. Have a good rest of the holiday weekend, and we'll try and maybe get back next week for a little bit of practice.
Roger, George. And just out of curiosity, again, the radio. Give me the radio that you're running and your location once again.
Running and your location once again. Running the 7300, the IO Pro 7 head, phone and mic, and we are in Denison, Michigan. It's about 10 miles southwest of Grand Rapids on the southwest side.
Roger, George. Thank you. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.